chickens. You cowered here while the rest of us fought?
What's the problem now? We didn't hear a thing.
Hail, Source Hunter! Why, I don't think I could ask for a more welcome sight on these cursed beaches.
I see no sign of imps, sister. How many times must we review the same spot?
As many as it takes. Or will you admit failure and return to Nemesis? Will you hear the cries of our loved ones in agony?
No, but nor will I count grains of sand when I ought to be carrying out a proper search.
Then to another realm we go. It's been some decades since we've checked the realm of Fairy. Perhaps one of the fiends has turned up there.
Unbelievable. You watched your brethren be slaughtered by the 20 thoughts.
Well, we're all orders to guard the bridge or not. is more holes than a slice of this.
Never saw you in the king crab before. You're welcome to scratch me behind the ears if you like. I won't scratch back. I am Unsinkable Sam. At least that's what they call me around here. Used to be a ship's cat, but the clipper I was on sank, and I was the only one to wrestle himself free from the waves. The people here were kind and took me in, being the king crab's foremost patron ever since. A magnificent ship she was. Used to belong to a pirate, I was told. Unlike me, she didn't prove to be unsinkable, though. We hit the cliffs right neath the lighthouse. Not very apt a name for that building, I must say, for no light was shining from it. The moment I hit the water, I writhed around like I would on a hot tin roof. By some miracle, I managed to reach the beach, covered in kelp and smelling worse than a fish's funeral parlor. But I was alive, and that was more than anybody else could say. So I was. What friends I had. They drowned alongside the rats I used to hunt in the galley. And there I was, all alone. Not that I have it bad here, mind you. I've milk and fish aplenty. Most folks will pet me kindly, and when one of the village girls holds me tight against her ample bosom, I purr up a storm. But I do long for a companion of my own kind. And in that regard, there is no one like Maxine. Oscar, you say? I haven't been called Oscar in ages. Boy, does that bring back memories. It's the name the ship's cook gave me when I was but a kitten. I remember him rewarding me with bacon every time I caught another rat. And I remember listening to a fellow called Ebenezer, who used to tell me the wildest stories. A strange bird, that one. Used to indulge in every pleasure of life like there was no tomorrow. Guess there was no tomorrow for him, come to think of it. He would talk everyone's ears off about the delights of fine dining, his fascination with new fashions, about the elation of lovemaking, and so on and so forth. To me, though, never suspecting his revelations would be stored in my mind, he'd whisper of the shadow sides of his indulgent character. Fine dining, yes, on human flesh even. New fashions, sure, even if they meant the annihilation of a species for its hides. Lovemaking, indeed. But sometimes the girls were very young and suffered delicate tortures. Some died in his special chambers, but would still be used. A strange bird, as I'm sure you'll agree. If he were a bit smaller, I might have caught him like I would a sparrow and rid the world of his hidden evils. By all means. People make a fuss about them because they endanger the lands around the city. They never bother me when I'm out for my monthly walk, though. But still, I do detest them. I mean, they're so unnatural, aren't they? Cats can have 9 lives, but humans are only entitled to 1. Oh, don't mention orcs to me. Worse than dogs, that lot. Sank Walrus Willie's boat right from under him. Best anchovy fisher in the world he was. A loss to us all. Maxine, the mayor's darling pet. So gentle, so fair a feline. The grace of her whiskers, the subtle palette of dyes in her sable coat. She's one of a kind, that cat. She likes me. I know she does. But when I declare my love, she backs away. I don't know why. I had serenaded her and braved many a bucket of water for my efforts. But for some reason, she is not to be swayed.
Be the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest techniques I've ever seen.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this.
Golly gosh! One who flaunts the highways and byways of silly old Sicile with the easy elegance of a puss with her tail in the air. I do declare such a sight is rather rare around here. But where are my manners? I am Maxine, and you must be one of those hunters one hears so much about. Charmed, I'm sure. I'm the mayor's cat, don't you know? Born and raised on velvets and viands of most exquisite varieties. Maxine rhymes with queen, after all, and dearest. That is hardly a coincidence. But of course, darling, be my guest. Oh, this quaint little town is a tad too parochial for one of my more urbane tastes. But one has to make do, hasn't one? The fresh sea air does go to great lengths to invigorate one's spirit, that much I'll admit. And it is rather jolly to watch the ships sail in laden with all kinds of exotic wares, full of the little treats the mayor likes to spoil me with. Darling man, he dotes on me so. Heavens forbid! No, fear is rather too strong a term there, hunter dearest. The predator's instinct is a trait we share, you and I. And though those rancid ramblers may not be quite as easy to put to the claw as mice are, I assure you, they are just as easily outwitted. Oh, my golly gumdrops, he did what? The nerve of the man. I knew he was hard of hearing and soft of wit, but this is a new low even for him. Oh, do calm down, Maxine. Compose yourself. Envision a calm ocean filled so plentifully with fish they positively flounder on the beach. There we are. Indignation has been dispelled. No longer do I care that booby of a mayor called me the C word. A nervous twitch suddenly makes Maxine's whiskers wiggle. I don't care in the least. Oh, he's a darling old Tom, isn't he? Paws over tails in love with me, and who can blame him? The feeling's, well, it's rather mutual, actually. But that pet of a puss simply doesn't have a penny to his name. At the risk of sounding as shallow as a spaniel, I can't but admit my love does not come unconditionally. What if we were to have kittens, he and I? They'd jolly well starve, wouldn't they, with an alley cat for a papa? Oh, dear Sam, he's such a good old bean. But he does rather reside at the bottom of the scratching pole, doesn't he? And dear me, one must have at least a mite of standards.
Elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
What's with you, bipeds and beer? No better drink than milk. Aye, so there's the rub. I am but a stray, and she is the mayor's cat. Oh, I do understand her, I do. She wants a Tom of means, not privation. One who brings home the sardines and the occasional halibut. Would that I still had my collar. Such a marvel it was, as bejeweled as the night sky with precious stones, said to have once been worn by a far-off Maharaja's best hunting cheater. Like the king of all cats I looked when I wore it. A gift bestowed upon me by a princess whom I had kept company during a long and perilous voyage. A precious band of gemstones, lost as I was tossed around by the waves like a ball in a game of catch. Among the waves it remains, I imagine. Won perhaps by a crab who fancies himself a Caesar with it. If only I could be the Caesar again, and Maxine my Caesarina. Wink, Whiskers! You found my collar? Oh, thank you! Bless you! I shall don it right this instant, and hie me to Maxine as fast as my paws can carry me. You have made me the happiest cat in the world! Indeed you have! Maxine, my love, look at me. I'm wearing it. The collar I told you about. The one you told me was but the fancy of a dream. Here it is. A band of jewels, such as no one in Sicile has ever beheld.
Dear me, but that choker looks absolutely fabulous on you. Simply smashing. I can't believe it's real. Oh, darling Sam, you are a Tom of means after all.
That I am, my little tigress. Behold my true collar, and marry me. Make me yours, and my very life I shall dedicate to your happiness.
Oh, what a passionate puss you are, my darling Sam. As impetuous as ever. But indeed you do seem to have the right and reason to be. Oh, I shall hold you in suspense no longer. Yes, my dear Sam, I will marry you.
With a word, you have stopped my heart and set it beating anew with untold vigor. Come, my love, my lean-tailed lady. By the fire of the hearth, let us lie and purr the night away.
And so Sam's story has a happy end after all.
It wouldn't have if we had never found that collar. Maxine only agreed to marry him because he is rich now.
What a cynical thing to say. She loved him all along, but was worried about the children they might have. That's quite another matter.
Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental?
Is not love a wonderful thing, my friend? The greatest fortune of animals and humans alike? We are married, my friend. Can you believe it? Oh, how blissfully happy we are. Legions of litters we'll have, she and I. There'll be tiny Sams and mini Maxines on every roof and in every garden of Sicile. Frolicking felines. What a feeling. Meow.
You haven't left town yet, have you? Jolly good. Join me, why don't you, for a scandalously milky saucer of feral leaf tea? Oh, my dearest, dearest Sam. He's positively the tenderest tomcat in the world, and you are the most darling of sweethearts for having reunited him with the wealth he lost to the waves. I met him a pauper, but married him a prince. As a stray did he besiege my heart, but as a sovereign he won it, as a Caesar among cats. A life of love and cheer we owe you.
How gratifying to see you return. You are quickly becoming my favorite customer.
The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all in blood! By the filed teeth of Sulumar's soul shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria! The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all in blood! Here I wait for thee in the dark. Yes. 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 The ornate Victoria.
I've got my eyes on the prize.
There's more holes than a slice of pie.
isn't so bad on a quiet day like this, is it?
Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject
Turjageta, friend. It Kashif Fudge. You killed him. I had so hoped no more blood needed spilling, but I suppose it is not for me to judge your actions. The sun that is your chivalry has dissolved the dew that was Eglandir's hate. May the gods bless your heart and shield your soul from harm. Place this book here. A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem! Volume 1, Volume 2. Where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Tenor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine. Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Stenteken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak. Mayhem. Hello again, adventurer. I hope you wiped those muddy boots on your way in.
Let us see if you can choose the finest green.
How gratifying to see you return. You are quickly becoming my favorite customer.
Speak your piece.
In Riverlock, we are our own judges. This ghostly form is the finest blessing we could hope for. The sights, the sounds, the chaos! Ah, who'd give a... That's it, kiddo. Explore as much as you can while you've got that youthful vim and vigor about you. Life is a wonderful thing. How could you? Those are lies. It was the ultimate pleasure. Oh, how could I hang back if there were even rarer, even more exquisite elations to pursue? How can I let any morsel of satisfaction go untasted in this brief mortal coil? Surely now you understand why I could never submit myself to the judgment awaiting me at the gates of the Hall of Echoes. No. I prefer to remain here for an eternity with a few of my senses, a few of my more delectable memories, than risk being cast into hell.
There's something to it, isn't there?
I certainly won't stop him from spending an eternity in this cemetery if he wishes. Atonement should only be offered to the truly regretful.
This monster shouldn't be afforded the luxury of escaping judgment. He granted no luxury to his victims, after all.
There's something to it, isn't there?
All right, we'll do it your way.
Is that so? Is that what you really believe, Source Hunter? Well, forget divine judgment. I say we judge each other here and now. The better of us stays, the worse be damned.
I'll figure out who murdered Jake before the day's through. Just you wait.
Jake, where are you? Wow, that dead sheep smells pretty great. I mean, wow. But it's nothing compared to Jake. Seems like some mutt is marking my territory. What? You mean Jake's still alive? Alive? And sillier than ever? This is the best news I've ever heard!
Here lies Gregory, whose wife told him so. Here lies Judith, warrior princess. Here lies Jared. Shall I come back as an enraged spirit, or a lovable prankster ghost? Here lies Patrick. You can kill me, but you'll never kill the dancer inside me. Here lies Kavanagh. Will they have Sicil pie in laughter? Here lies David, who ran from the Reaper. You'll never catch me alive. Here lies Nemris, master of philosophy.
Rest in peace, darling.
Jake, where are you? Are you here, Jake? Jake!
Look here. Even a sage and author as renowned as I is flattered when mortals dare among the dead to seek him out. Well, here I am, Nemris the Wise. You may go wide-eyed with amazement now. As if I need introduction. Nemris the thinker, the theorist, the visionary. Come now, surely you lack the time, as I do, for such silly questions. Oh, I've written so many celebrated treatises, but of course you have read and revered the philosophy of death, the diamond in the crown that is my literary legacy.
Keep you.
There isn't a civilized soul alive that hasn't perused its profound pages percolating with perspicacity. Alas, that so few show an understanding of my words, so few show the expected intellectual growth when I put them to the test. You can, and indeed you must. But alas, I was not buried with a printed version of that blueprint of genius that is my inimitably esteemed essay. Never fear, though, for each and every library in Revellon boasts a copy, the gilded cherry on their paper pie.
Place this book here. A volume of poetry among novels. Urak. Mayhem. The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Stenteken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Stenticken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the...
The very fact that you seek me out once more is in itself a token of wisdom. Do you truly feel you are ready to prove that you have read and understood the philosophy of death? Then we shall proceed to test the mettle of your acumen forthwith. Between life and death, death is the greater force. So argues the clergyman. Is he correct?
Rest in peace, darling.
Of course not.
Correct. He is not.
Let us proceed. Life is life's own goal, the question that is itself the answer. Good! Now I am unburdened of all worries, am I not?
Not entirely, no.
I concur.
Last query. Boldly do I scorn the bonds of faith and fear. Death I dub thee life's equal. Is this my salvation or my undoing?
Your salvation.
Indeed.
Most impressive. Nothing short of miraculous. You have verily fathomed the message of my book. My undying respect is yours, to an extent. Content in the knowledge that my legacy is in good hands. Ta-ta! I shall see you in the next life.
Jake, where are you? Are you here, Jake? Jake!
May the seven keep you.
never make it inside these walls. Excellent. Let's keep it that way.
How can I help you, my friend?
Aye, aye, Captain.
A bit drafty in here, isn't it? Are we near a vent?
Think I could fly straight to the void? I think I could fly straight to the void. All the way up!
By the hoary beard of Boreas, can it be? You've come home. It's about time, isn't it? Your quarters have been invaded by all manner of madness. Off to explore.
I wonder how much of a spark it takes to summon you to
You've returned, my brilliant friend. What is it that you wish to know? Take care, my...
The blood can cause quite a lot.